Hello students, I'm here to talk to you about one of the very important aspects or topics for which IFRS 15 provide guidance in addition to accounting for revenue from contract with customers, and that is contract cost. It specifies the accounting treatment for the cost of obtaining the contract and also for the cost of fulfilling the contract. Contract costs are divided into two parts. That is the incremental cost of obtaining the contract and the cost of fulfilling the contract. Cost of obtaining the contracts are costs that are incremental, that is, that would not have been incurred without obtaining that particular contract. They include stuff such as sales commission paid for the acquisition of that particular contract, legal fees, and the bonuses paid to employees specifically for obtaining that particular contract. In other words, these are the costs that the entity would have avoided had it not entered into this particular contract. On the other hand, the cost of fulfilling the contracts are costs that are incurred in connection with the satisfaction of the performance obligation in the contract. The key distinction here is that the cost of fulfilling the contract are the costs that are incurred to execute the existing contract. Now, moving to the accounting treatment, the initial measurement of this contract cost. Incremental cost of obtaining the contract. IFRS 15 requires that this cost be capitalized if the entity expects to recover this cost from the contract. With regards to the cost of fulfilling the contract, if these costs are in the scope of some other standards such as IS 2, IS 16, or IS 38, then the entity needs to treat these costs in line with the requirements of those standards. However, if these costs are not within the scope of the other standards, then these costs should be capitalized or recognized as an asset if they meet a certain criteria. And that criteria is these costs should relate directly to the contract, or these costs should generate or enhance the resources used in the satisfaction of the performance obligation in the future. And the last one, these costs are expected to be recovered from this contract. Then moving to the subsequent measurement, both the cost of obtaining the contract and the cost of fulfilling the contract should be amortized on a systematic basis consistent with the transfer of these goods or services under the contract with the customer. For more explanation on the treatment of the incremental cost of obtaining the contract, please refer to illustrative example 36 and 37. For cost of fulfilling the contract, please refer to example 37. Please also refer to question 3 and 4 of TAT 103 for level 1 and question 6.1 for level 2. Another good example is on page 621 of the Descriptive Accounting 21st edition. And that is the end of the presentation. Thank you for listening.